We now continue with our Objects in the Mirror series. Next up is Will Price, who's presenting on behalf of Flite. Flite helps brands and publishers deliver ads powered by the real-time web. Prior to joining Flite in an operating capacity, Will was managing director at Hummer Winblad Venture Partners. He also served as CEO and chief operating officer at several software startups. Please join me in welcoming to the stage from Flite, Will Price. Good luck. Enjoy, Will.
Thank you very much. Hi, everybody. How are you doing? I'm glad to follow up from Ecopot, who's a good friend and a close business partner of ours. So I have 10 minutes, and I'm going to attempt to demo gods by actually no PowerPoint. It's all going to be product, and try to build an ad for you guys here today, which is representative, I think, of what we mean by the future of display. So right now, what you're looking at is our site. And Flite, the way we position ourselves, we talk about being a cloud-based advertising company. And we want to introduce a concept which is very differentiated from rich media, which is cloud ads. Now, what's the difference? Well, Ecopot said that cloud advertising has been around for a while, but it was all about serving SWIFT files across the web and using a hosted service to do that. My proposition, and our company's proposition, is that you need to replace the concept of files and instead be serving living miniature websites that can be programmed by the best of what the internet's capable of. There's been a massive disconnect between the innovation that the internet has enabled of all of us. Think about how we run our sites today with Facebook Connect tie-ins and tie-ins from all kinds of CMS and video systems. And yet when we ask brands to tell their story and they use display, 91 times out of 100, we ask them to pick an image, a tagline, and a call to action button. And we almost leave behind all the richness of the web. Rich media in some sense is a bizarre concept because it's not really rich. It's dynamic. It's nice flash executions. But the web richness, we talk about web richness, what do we really mean? We mean editorial and programmatic connections and programming. So in order to kind of understand why this matters and why we think cloud advertising is a big innovation, I just want to read from Randall's quote, which was part of the video introduction that he had for all of us, which said that display is the fastest growing segment. Ecopot just told us that it's growing 3x faster than search. That's the good news. The bad news is that its use is too narrow. The gap between what marketers want and what we give them is too wide. And brands are hungry for better and for more. And he defines that as they want to bring all the capabilities of the internet to bear on their brand message and do that in the ad unit, right? That's sight, sound, motion with social underpinnings. And that's really what we're talking about when we talk about cloud ads. It's allowing you to think about bringing a website, imagine a landing page, pick it up, hold it in front of you. That landing page has interesting elements on it: polls, lead gen forms, white paper readers, video, tweet buttons. Shake it as hard as you can. All the stuff that's really good falls right into an ad, and you serve it across the web. Why build a landing page anymore? So this product has been shown to you already. This is our company that did the execution for IDG. So the Flite nanosite, the nanosite product from IDG is a Flite-powered product. Again, it's the idea of obviating the need for these expensive landing pages that are hard to drive traffic to, hard to maintain, and instead allowing the ads themselves to be miniature web pages, to be nanosites. So what we're going to do today is build an ad together, and I want to show you how easy it is to do. And my premise is that brands want to do more than we're currently enabling to do, and they don't understand why it's so hard. One of the things I keep hearing about is this concept of Agile Marketing. In fact, there's a fabulous book out right now called Little Bets. And Little Bets, the thesis is, why put all your eggs in one massive execution when you're probably going to be wrong? Why not just start executing and then learn how to change things? And social media has taught us that. It's just as easy for update Twitter feeds or Facebook fan page as it should be to be able to program a display advertising campaign. Brands have been conditioned by their social media experience to see the immediacy of their ability to update a video, put a picture online. And yet when we ask them to do display, we say, hey, can we get back to you in 6 weeks? We'll give you a piece of creative. And then let's lock down the creative 8 weeks before the campaign starts. And then, oh, we won't be able to change it when it really gets started because it's so hard to do. There's a massive disconnect that's really frustrating people. What we allow brands and agencies to do is produce advertising and literally update it anytime during the campaign. So what I'm going to show you today is a product that we launched just today. It's Flite for ad networks. You've seen our Flite for premium publisher products. Ecopot really walked you through that. And what we're going to do is we're going to basically make the concept that says if you want to run an ad network in market, right now this is an ad, for example, that's running for Super 8. This is what I'd consider a typical banner ad. So the ad runs for Super 8 in the background, and then at the end of it, it basically says, okay, it's coming out June 10th. So that's someone's spending a lot of money to put that all across the web right now. What we have is an ad that is slightly different. So let me reload this page. So the ad runs just the way it would currently today. It's 11 seconds, so just bear with me. And as soon as it's done, the ad collapses, and what you're left with is a way for someone to engage, to take action in a meaningful way with that product right in the unit. So the first thing we have, for example, is an integration with a partner of ours called Movie Connect, where you can actually look for the movie times directly in the ad that just ran. And if you don't see, for example, I put in the zip code where we are now, but if you want to put in like 10021 and hit search, it's going to pull up different movie theaters, different locations, and then you can either tweet, text, or buy the tickets directly from there. You can watch the trailer again. You can share the trailer. You can follow the buzz that's going on there and decide to follow the movie. You can have a poll, and you can change that poll question at any time if it's not getting reactions without cutting ad tags again. So you can say, what's it about? I don't know. I've seen some trailers. I think it's about aliens. You can see what other people think. You can also then decide you want to sign up for information from the movie studio. So what we've done essentially is we've taken a piece of display real estate, which is an ad network space, where they're running what I consider to be a 1994-esque. Maybe it's a little bit more exciting than it was in 94, but not really any different. 17 years later, it's still pretty much the same thing. And instead, bringing the full internet to bear. What is the full internet? It's showtimes, it's Twitter, it's polls, it's lead gen forms. These are things that people expect on sites. Why can't they expect them in ads? That's the premise. So our product is a web-based application that my premise is it's just as easy to produce ads like this as it is to curate and manage a Facebook page. Just as easy. There's no challenge, there's no black box magic about doing this. And in the spirit of tempting fate, I'm going to build this ad now. Okay. So the first thing is we have a developer center. So you don't live within templates. You want to be able to use AS2, AS3 code and do extensions and custom assets. You can certainly continue to do that. But we also, for the spirit of making it easy, start off with a variety of default templates. So if we go to the console, this is our kind of web-based Dash developer, where you can see the assets you've got. You can see what teams are working on it, what folders you have. But we're going to go ahead and try to recreate that Super 8 ad that we saw before. So let's do that. So the first thing I'm going to do is what I'm looking at right now is a template. We call it the Display Plus. It's the opportunity for you to be able to put a flash ad in that's going to run, and then once it's finished, there's going to be information underneath it. Right now, it's in its kind of default state, and I'm pulling in IAB tweets here just to show you. But we're going to go in and add the header. So bear with me. So the first thing I'm going to do is I have a header. This is just a ping file, right? So someone who created Super 8 would have this asset, and now it's going to be in the header. And then I'm going to add the footer. It's the same concept. It's very simple for me to go and find this information, the footer, and hit OK. And I'm done. So now I've got my header and footer. And I'm going to style it somewhat differently than it was before. And then on the content side, the way to think about our system is it basically says, hey, there's a whole world of APIs out there. There's 3,000 of them. Give me an API with some parameters. I'm going to plug that right into the ad unit. So the first thing is we know that Twitter is Will Price is now delivering a demo at Flite. Nice. Super 8 movie. So Super 8 movie is the movie. OK, good. I got that in there now. So I can start programming this ad and start adding information to it. So for example, there's a default set of videos in here, but I know that we have the Super 8 trailer. So we have that as an asset, so I'm going to drop that in. So now I have the Super 8 trailer. Let's just make sure that that works. It looks like it's playing. Yep, all right, that's what we want. We'll go in and we have a poll we want to run. This is a default poll, so let's just change that out and put in what is Super 8 about. Again, this is it's very easy to make these polls too, these poll assets. It's about government experiments. Let's just see if that functionality works. It does. Okay, and then we want to change out a form, and we want to put in the Super 8 form. So, what is Super 8 about? Is that what I want? What is Super 8 about? Default poll. Super 8 movie news, is that it? Okay, so that's why I got the form in there. Okay, so now I want to do something which I think is really important, as Ekapot talked about. I want to be able to start adding in components from third parties where the component is an API, for example. So that's not what I want to do. So let me go in here. I'm going to select this tab, and what I'm going to put in now is a SWIFT from a partner, which has got the Movie Connect functionality that we want to put in. I'm just going to paste that in. And now I have my show times in there. And I'm just going to call this show times. And it was the first tab, so I'm going to move that to the first tab. Didn't move, sorry. One more. So I now have the Showtime asset in there. And I think the last thing I need to do is I want to drop in, and this is what our new ad product for ad networks allows you to do, is to start with the basic creative that you're currently running and basically say, why just do that? So I have this SWIFT for the ad. I'm just going to go ahead and put that in there, and I could change the time that it's going to run. Sorry. So you can see it's running now. And I can say, okay, well, let's just not run it 11 seconds. Let's run it, 5 seconds or what have you. So now, relatively quickly, I started with the SWIFT, which is what the traditional creative would have done. And I said, okay, we can still do that. We can serve that out there. We can either have it play for 10 seconds, 11 seconds, 12 seconds. Then when it goes away, we can start layering in this other stuff that Super 8's investing in, which is the ability to drive a newsletter, the ability to track Twitter followers, the opportunity to push people directly to the theaters in their locale, to be able to buy tickets, to be able to tweet that they're going to the movie from the ticket purchase, the ability to watch the trailer again, the ability to share the trailer that they just watched. None of that functionality existed in the original ad, and yet literally in this, 4 minutes that I've had, we've been able to do this. All those assets are stock assets. There's nothing magic about that. There's pings, SWIFTs, video assets, things that are very simple to do. And the last thing that we can do, for example, is they actually have a mobile app. So what we're going to do is we're just going to go over into the Flite console, to the Developer Center, the ad studio. And one of the themes we have is the ability to attach a mobile URL to any icon. So we're just going to go ahead and put that over here and paste that in there. So now when people click on this button here, they can text themselves this link. So if you see this ad out in the world now, so if we go back to this ad, and you say, okay, I'm going to text this to myself. I'm on Verizon. This is a live demo of Danger. Hit this to myself. See if I get a text message. Okay. I got a text from Lisa that I'm building an ad. There, I just got a text message. I don't know if anyone can see it, but it says text. And if I clicked on that URL, it would launch the iTunes page where I can now buy the app or get the app for free from my ad. So, this conference is about the future of display. And it's about these immersive in-unit experiences that take advantage of the web that we live in, the 2011 web. That's a web we don't allow our brand advertisers to live in very easily. We put them through a lot of expense and challenge, and then when we actually do these custom executions, when they say, can I make a change, we look at them and say, yeah, that'll cost another thousands, and it'll take another 8 days, 10 days. And the thing that I really want to stress is that brands, when we get in front of them, don't understand that. They think of themselves, they say, look, I can program my Facebook fan page so easily. I can update a video, I can update a link that's interesting to us, an article. I have all these Twitter followers. Why is it so hard for me to take that same mindset, not to be asked to solve the perfect creative for some expensive campaign I'm going to run, but to be thinking about conversational, iterative, agile marketing that allows me to quickly test concepts, program and update changes as I see the data telling me I should, kill things that don't work, let things that do work continue. And that's what they want to do, and they want to get away from landing pages. They want to be thinking about, I'm buying real estate across the web. As Ecopot said, my goal is not to bring the people to my content, it's to bring my content to the people. And with today's technology, whether that's for movies, where the show times, for automotive with dealer lookups and being able to schedule test drives, whether it's from things like television premieres where you want to set your DVR in an ad unit, Flite's technology is about connecting the brand advertiser to their audience in the context of where that audience is, and with the aggregate support of all the APIs that the world is building out there that provide the functionality we expect on our websites when we go to a website today. If we went to a website from 1994 today, what would we think? What would we think if we went to a website built in 1994? Google's got that beautiful gallery out there of computers from 1995. It would be awesome to see websites from 95, because you know what? That's what display looks like. 91 out of 100 times. And it's something that the ultimate customer, the brand, doesn't understand. And when we challenge them with black boxes and costs and custom executions and timelines that always go over late and metrics that don't ever come back that work, it's why that the Google Watch the Space thing is 20% of the overhead versus 2% for television. That's part of the problem. So what our technology is trying to do is make that a friction-free, easy thing to do, and to make display as simple as programming a Facebook fan page, allowing either the brand to do it directly or the agencies to do it on their behalf. And by the way, there's equal amounts of demand, I think. And allowing them metrics that are not about the click-through. A lot of people have talked about that today. It's not about the click-through. Well, what is it about? Well, if these are mini web pages, it's about metrics that look like Omniture reports. Dwell time, heat map analysis, what content works, what didn't work, and then optimizing them. So we're Flite, Flite.com, Flite on Twitter. I want to thank the IAB for letting me be here today and the opportunity to talk to all of you. So thank you very much.